What up, my people, and welcome back to the National Review, powered by Football University. I am your official voice of youth at high school sports, Chad Ricardo. It's FBU camp season. Of course, we are taking a tour of the entire nation. We started off down in Texas before headed over out to Central Florida to check out what's going on there. Today, though, we're headed out to the West Coast to see if the West Side truly is the best side. Want to give a shout out to Edwin Weathersby. Of course, he had been with us here at the All-American Games. He has moved on. We wish him nothing but the best. You know what they say though? Next man up. On today's show, Sandra Hodges, player development scout, is going to be joining us in just a moment. But first, a man whose reputation precedes him, our new player development director for the West Coast, your friend, my friend, is Mr. Eric Medeiros. Hey, listen bro, like I said, your name and your reputation precede you. They walk through the door far before you do. For anyone out there that doesn't know you yet, talk to us about your experience. How long, what have you done with All-American Games and FBU camps?
The first time I got involved with the company was about 9 years ago as a parent. My first son. You know, I was just completely blown away by the product at that time. I thought it was such a great experience. I wanted to get more involved. And as the years progressed, I did. You know, I started out kind of helping at the camps, helping with the operations and stuff. When FBU started the national championship, we were one of the first teams. Back then, we were called Team Washington. We've since changed our name to Team Seattle. So I was the first team director for Team Seattle and one of the coaches. And as a team director, they asked me to be the camp coordinator for Seattle area. I also went to Top Gun and helped at Top Gun. Then I became the player development coordinator for the Pacific Northwest, which basically was a direct report to the position I have now. And my responsibilities back then was Seattle camp, anything going on in the Pacific Northwest, overseeing whatever FBU national championship regionals we had in the area. I'd set up the regionals, get the venues, help put that stuff together, organize the teams. I also got involved with the local combine. The company asked me to come to San Antonio and I help assist with operations with the national combine and so forth and so on. That's where I started. I've kind of ran the gambit, as from a parent to a guy helping fill the Gatorade bottles to now being the director of player development for the West Coast.
We absolutely love the path, bro. Listen, you speak to the fact that you helped build Team Seattle. I mean, that lends credibility to your name in and of itself. Shout out to my main man, Rob Mason, out there. In your own words, what do you bring to the table as a player development director? How do you plan to make the FBU experience better for both the student athletes as well as the parents?
First and foremost, what I bring is having a first-hand experience with the various properties for All-American Games, such as FBU and stuff. Over the course of the years in these various positions, developed a pretty good series of contacts and grassroots support, and I'm a strong advocate of grassroots support. When I was the team director and there was just too much to do, I brought in Rob Mason, who I consider probably one of the best team directors in the country right now that we have. So I bring those organizational skills. I also think that I've had the luxury of observing and watching the last couple of West Coast directors. And what I can do is I can take the strengths from each of those guys. Or hopefully I want to utilize the strengths that I saw in each of those guys and to the advantage of the company to put out a better product for the kids and the parents.
That's what's up, bro. Eric Medeiros, you are definitely going to make a difference in the lives of both these student athletes and their families. Look, check this out. Want to take a look at a few of the kids that are going to be at FBU camps in your region? We got to take a quick break. Keep it locked right there. It's the National Review.
1, 2, 3, FBU, you know! I want to find out how good I am. Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on! I can push myself way beyond what you think.
Crush your technique. Do your back.
Welcome back to the National Review. I'm Chad Ricardo. FBU camps, of course, going on across the nation. Right now, though, we're taking a look at those specifically on the West Coast. Got my main man, player development director, Eric Medeiros. He's riding shotgun with me right now. Want to take a look, though, at a few of the student athletes who have already signed up for camp on the West Side. Teron Birdie, he's 6'1", 160 pounds. In the class of 2020, young man is long, lean, and he's a National Combine alum. Cannot wait to get eyes on him. Callum Highland, 5'5", 130 pounds, class of 2019. Young man gets it done. Check out Keegan Kometic, Oregon City High School in Oregon City, Oregon. Young man, cannot wait to see what he does out there at FBU camp. Everett Ashley, he's a quarterback coming out of Moses Lake, Washington. Jackson Harmon, check this out. Jackson is a quarterback as well. He's coming all the way from South Anchorage High School in Anchorage, Alaska. Who knew that they came out from Alaska as well? Everybody comes to FBU camp. Dane Sippos, he is a multi-sport student athlete, track, football, and basketball. He's from Oregon. Dane definitely gets it done. Thaddeus Campbell, this is my dude right here. Had an opportunity to see him down at the National Combine in San Antonio this year. That's what FBU camp is about. He's out of Central Union High School. Ton of upside to this young man. Ben Barajas, he is an athlete from out there in Arizona. Young man has a great story. Cannot wait to have him on the National Review, interview him, allow him to tell it to you himself. His next young man is a big-time talent. I'm talking about Jackson Turner. Jackson is a two-sport stud from Rancho Verde. Now, Jack, as the kids like to call him, recently picked up an offer from Cal, and look, I knew that he meant business once he got that stamp of approval from our people over there at UTR. Shout out Jackson Turner, kid's a stud. And finally, my main man, Micah Gallegos, also a young man that I had an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with himself and his family down at the National Combine, as well as the All-American Bowl in San Antonio. He's a great young man, quarterback and defensive end. That's a heck of a combination. Micah, going to get it done. Alright, Coach, so much talent out there that's going to be attending camps on the West Coast again, whether that's California, Seattle, Arizona. There's a camp near you who's watching at home. Coach, what can those student athletes, what can anyone else who registers, what can they anticipate from an FBU camp run by Eric Maderas?
I think FBU is a very unique camp. I don't think there's any other camp out there in the country that has the quality of coaching that we have. What other camp can say that all of the coaches and instructors at that camp are former NFL players or coaches or former big-time college coaches? There's nobody, absolutely nobody that can say that. And we have those guys at our camp. Why is that important? It's important because these guys we don't just have a coach, some NFL guy or something that goes and shakes the kids' hands. These guys are dedicated, they love football, they want to teach it to the kids, they want to make these kids better. They're out there grinding with the kids all day. These kids get top-notch experience, top-notch training from the best in the business, and it speaks for itself with regards to that. And you don't have to be a top athlete, you don't have to be a blue chip 5-star athlete to attend one of our camps and get a benefit. Everybody can get a benefit from our camp because our focus is to make every kid that comes into that camp a better player, a better student. We emphasize not just their accomplishments on the field, but we emphasize the importance of classroom. And we actually take the kids, break them down in the classroom and teach them how to read film. Teach them, what it's going to take when you get to that next level, whether it be used to high school or high school to college. We also help educate the parents. The parents come to the camp. They're welcome to go into the classrooms and watch it. They're welcome to watch the practices and the training. We also have seminars conducted that are directed specifically at parents. They have questions about how can I get my kid into college? What about scholarships? We provide that, and there's no one else out there right now that can do that.
Coach, once again, welcome aboard, brother. As if you haven't been here for a while already, we definitely look forward to all of the great things that you're going to do for these student athletes, as well as their families on the West Side.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Look out, Phoenix and LA, man. We're going to have really good camps coming up.
They are on the way. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now welcome into the show a young lady who needs no introduction whatsoever. You've seen her all across the nation at various events of the All-American Games. This player development scout for the West Side and Miss Do It All for the Big Skills Tournament. Welcome into the review, Miss Sandra Hodges. Sandra Hodges, I have wanted to get you on the show for so long now. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Look, we'll get you started on this. I know that you are someone who has really made an imprint on the industry. How long have you worked in youth football?
I have worked in youth football for about 7 years. My younger son, when he started, he was about 8. So, of course, first year you just sit back and watch and observe what's going on. And then I made a decision that I wanted to add value and help make things better for his team. And then it just kind of took off from there.
Let's get down to the proverbial nitty-gritty here. You know, we'll speak about FBU camps in just a moment. In a sport that's primarily dominated by men, let's be real here, what does it mean to you personally, and what does it mean to all of those coming after you for you to be able to carve this path, to blaze this trail for women and for girls in the sport of football?
I mean, yes, football is primarily a male-dominated sport, but I do see that women have an essential role in it. It's just like a household, you know, me being present, whether it be with my, you know, FBU team or my Giant Skills team, we just have a balanced household per se. There are things that the guys do in regards to coaching, and they do it very, very well. And then everything on the behind the scenes with the administration of football, because, you know, it still is a business. I take care of those things as well. So everyone that I have worked with, me being a woman in football, it never seems to matter. You have to have tough skin, just to tell you that for sure, because, you know, just being around that environment sometimes, language, personalities, you know, the moment on the field during games or whatever it is. Yeah, it just always worked out for me. I actually enjoy it a lot. I do. It is my passion, but I've never had anything happen where it was like, oh, well, you're a woman, you can't do that. I feel as though everybody that I work with gives me a fair shot and opportunity to challenge myself as well as exceed.
Opening doors and carving out paths. I love it. We like to call that legacy, you know? I tell you what, now in just a moment we're going to take a look at a few of the student athletes that you put me on to. We'll get to that in a second, but before we do though, I had an opportunity, of course, to speak to Eric Medeiros, Player Development Director for out there on the West Coast, about FBU camp, which is up on the horizon. Traditionally, now, there are a few more representatives at Top Gun coming from the East Coast. I know that that's something that we would all like to see changed here. In your opinion, why is it important for the West Coast student athlete to come out to FBU camps?
You know, we have ballers out here in the West Coast. I think there is a lot of talent that is not being discovered because kids are not coming out and performing or competing in this platform. It is another avenue, as well as Rivals, Nike opening, next gen camps. There's a lot of camps coming up, but what SBU offers with the 2 days classroom and field instruction is phenomenal. Me actually going through that process last year and working it and seeing it for myself, very organized, very structured, you know, just trying to get these kids out so they can get invites to the National Combine, to Top Gun. Now they have the Texas Showdown. I mean, that's incredible. And I know I'm always pushing for kids in the West to come compete, you know, show these kids in the East what you have, because especially our national championship teams, you're going to face them.
Right.
When we get back to Naples again next year,
right.
Let's just be ready. We're going. Let's be ready. Let's do that, get in front of it, and be able to compete. Especially at the National Combine with the high school kids, when they get to compete against kids from the East, it's like, wow. You know, if I know the East Coast, I mean, their camps, there are more camps than opportunities and locations in the East and the West, hoping to grow the West again.
I love it. And look, in the All-American Bowl, the West side took that one, I believe, 2 years in a row. So we like to start them young at the FBU camps and take them all across the path.
Absolutely.
That is what's up, man. Okay, I want to take a look at a few more of these West Coast representatives. Also want to speak about FBU camp and the big skills competition, but we'll do that right after this break.
Drive home safely. See you next season. American Bowl
is brought to you by Football University. FBU, bringing former NFL coaches and players from all around the country.
National Review, we of course are talking FBU camps out there on the West Coast, California, Seattle, Phoenix, Arizona. FBU camp coming to a city near you. Player development scout Sandra Hodges, the incomparable, is on the line with me right now. Sandra, want to get into 3 of these young men that you put me onto, cuz you put me onto some special ones. First up, San Diego FBU alum. This is my main man, Gavin Chervini. Gavin, young man is 5'9", 160 pounds. He plays a little bit of wide receiver, plays a little bit of cornerback. One thing he definitely is athletic. He's coming out of San Marcos High School. Young man has quick feet and a big time burst. And next young man may go down as one of the best to do it. He's a quarterback. His name, Tyler Buckner. San Diego FBU alum as well. Buckner is coming out of Bishop School. He's in the class of 2021. Check this out. 6'2", 200 pounds, and he recently received his first offer from UCLA. Definitely worth it, bro. As we look at this, check out his pocket awareness, the way he navigates up and through the pocket. Check out the feet on this young man, and his arm talent is absolutely unquestionable. FBU alum, follow the path, young men. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, we gotta show the big some love. This, my main man, Rashad Beckham. Now, Shotty, he's a San Diego and OC FBU alum. Got a chance to meet him, spend a little time with him down in Naples as well as at the National Combine in San Antonio. Excellent young man. The young man is 6 foot 250 pounds, and he's only in the class of 2022. As you take a look at him, he has the size and he has the skill. His ceiling is absolutely unlimited. Sandra, thank you very much for putting me on to those 3 young men. Definitely going to keep track of them for the rest of their high schools and collegiate careers. Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about. Not only are you the West Coast player development scout with All-American games, also looking over FBU camps, but you are also a key player, Miss Do-It-All with giant skills. His tournament is coming up on the horizon. We love to show the big fellas love. Talk to me about this opportunity.
We have our first annual Giant Skills O-Line D-Line tournament in Las Vegas at the end of February, the 24th and 25th. We have teams from everywhere. We are putting together a couple of renegade teams as well, a combination of middle school and high school kids that are representing several different teams as well as high schools. But we do have some kids from Arizona, Vegas, Utah, trying to get some kids from the East to come out, you know, just to kind of throw a little different flavor out there, but it's exciting. You know, we have a lot of events that we're doing this year. Our calendar is very full. We have camps every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, as well as private training, and we'll be out back in Arizona in March, and then Sacramento in April. It's just a lot. It's very exciting. It's our 2nd season, and I'm very proud of my team.
We love the bigs. Look, love it. Where else can we find more information?
Yes, definitely. We have our Giant Skills Facebook page, has our schedule, videos. We highlight kids that, you know, we're working with them to, you know, get offers. You know, we have the mentoring and recruiting component to our training. Excellent. You know, it's not just straight training. I mean, these kids, we really are hands-on and working with their parents, especially the ones in high school, helping them get to that next level. You know, academics is important, always honing that in. And like I said, my team, they do a phenomenal job in being straight up and working with these kids and being very much so hands-on.
Excellent. Sandra Hodges, thank you very much, and I see you out there at FBU camp.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sandra Hodges, FBU player development scout for the All-American Games out there on the West Coast. There's a camp coming to a city near you. Be sure to check it out. She'll be out there. Want to thank Sandra for stopping by the show today. Also want to thank Player Development Director Eric Maderas as well. That's all of our time. I am your official voice of youth at high school sports, Chad Ricardo. I'll see you next week. Happy birthday, Mom.